Today in the relatively early afternoon, from about 1 to 2 p.m., around that time period, I decided to walk to Wegmans, which is about a mile or so from here, in order to return a clear plastic garbage bag full of mostly plastic and aluminum beverage containers. Kind of like this, if only a handful of glass beverage containers. And those were primarily kombucha. I got back $3.25. And when it was all said and done, though the first 5 containers, at first I only put in 5 containers before the bin, after some waiting at a queue. Before that, plastic and aluminum returns machine got a bin full alert. After some hesitation, I went to a staff member at the customer service / returns area and alerted her to at this point the middle bin and the one on the left to it having some kind of error, though I think most likely it was a bin full alert, since a similar both bins ended up being treated similarly, with the bin being presumably replaced. I had gone to Wegmans with the intention of only returning some bottles after a snack that consisted of the last 3 slices of some Kobe Jack cheese. Only they were more like cubed slices rather than slices. Being about 2 to 3 times as thick. But a whole lot shorter and more narrow, so still having a whole lot less surface area than the typical cheese slices. After some more waiting, near where they keep the carts, some of which is very close to the deposit return machines. The middle bin opened up, or it was at least one of the bins that opened up, and it was the one I picked. Yeah, I ended up getting $3.25 when I at last finished the deposit returns. I decided to wear a pair of dress shoes, which may not have been the best idea. By the time I got to Wegmans, I had broken a sweat, albeit a comparatively light one, since it didn't at any point get into my eyes, which is possible with a heavy enough sweat. And then some minutes after I got home, and my feet ended up being a bit sore, but they're okay now. I actually ended up with too many bottled wins, and the problem with bottled wins is that you can't go forward with them. I'm hoping I get at least enough provisions to get one more shovel. That doesn't seem likely at the moment. Luckily, I'm currently just barely in the Silver League, which is the minimum I need in order to get the last artifact. And by extension, get this evolvable building up to level 10. I managed to complete all of the task sets for this event. But for some reason, for buying all of those bulk kits of tools, I ended up with too many bottled wins because oftentimes it'll take 2 shovels and no vacuum vials in order to get the most utility out of them. I'm excited to start an upgrade to the main hall. I don't have the mana for it now because I spent a whole bunch on that. That upgrade I just activated. I got a new Goddess of Wishes, but don't really have space necessarily for it yet. I've got to figure out a way to rearrange this campus so I can fit in another of these. I can't upgrade the elixir manufactory again because I don't have room for it. I did some work on the 99th Dan Hamming episode today. Primarily by making a custom prop. And then trying to correct a discolorization caused by the snipping tool I use to get the base images I use to create the custom props in LunaPic. I try to fix the discolorization primarily through color adjustments rather than light adjustments. I did get tempted at one point to do a light adjustment, but I resisted that, telling myself it's better to do color adjustments, but I haven't had much success yet. Incredibly, when I arrived at the parking lot to Wegmans, I encountered Addison from CSC. He told me that the town hall still has my application that I sent some months ago. But that they're currently not hiring. I take that to mean CSC currently isn't hiring. It was a full overcast day when I went out. pretty much for the rest of today, too. It didn't rain on my way to Wegmans, and it only lightly rained on my way back from Wegmans. The sidewalks to and from Wegmans seem to be lightly littered to me. So I did a little bit of picking up on the way back when I didn't have a garbage bag full of empty bottles to carry. And apparently on the way back I picked up this mostly empty aluminum can of some kind of alcoholic drink. It was pretty close to the Walgreens / Tim Hortons area. I had a Reuben sandwich along with some ramen. Around 6:30 p.m. It was still relatively light out due to us springing forward. The Reuben sandwich was good, even though the bread was a bit soggy and just in some parts. It was still a perfectly good sandwich. And as for the ramen, my mom told me in the morning that she microwaves the ramen while it's in 2 cups of water. And the ramen is microwaved for about 6 to 6.5 minutes. I think it's the flavoring packet that makes it look like the water is some kind of chicken broth. It makes it taste like it too. Either way, it ends up being some pretty good soup. Even if it is pretty basic. And I had a glass of 1% milk with the ramen and Reuben sandwich. There's food we've got to eat to avoid food waste, including this salad, which is about a day past its sell-by date. Still perfectly good, though.